Yes, and welcome back to a brand new episode of SPUD Quickies, episode 15 in fact. I'm Maniacal Mac, and as usual I just go through an array of films, hopefully some here you may not have heard of. If there are films on you've heard of, what did you make of them? Let me know in the comments. Did you agree with whether I give them the old SPUD or DUD? Obviously everything's subjective, so let me know what you think. Also check out my Rumble account, there's more episodes of DUD SPUD on here. YouTube's taken a couple of them away, unfortunately, some of the better ones as well. So if you want to go on my Rumble account, check out more DUD SPUDs there as well. Okay, so we're going to start this off with absolute bangers in a tradition we usually do on these episodes of Quickies. So 2 movies in one here. We got ThanksKilling, which came out in 2008, and ThanksKilling 2, ThanksKilling 3, which came out in 2012. You might be like, wait there, what do you mean ThanksKilling 3? No, I didn't misspeak. I'll explain that in a bit. I've actually got the first review I ever done of a movie a good few years ago was like an animated one I done was for ThanksKilling, funny enough. So if you look in the depth of my channel, you can find that there if you're interested.
I'll come back! I'll kill you all! Oh, fuck! I'm pissed!
So yeah, fantastic B-movie if you're into that. I fully recommend this one. So ThanksKilling is basically if Chucky was a rubber turkey puppet, foul-mouthed as shit. A dog pisses on turkey's grave that was sent there due to like a stupid sacrifice, satanic fucking ritual thing. He comes back, he gets pissed off and just goes on a mad murdering spree being ThanksKilling. It's absolutely ridiculous. It knows it's being stupid. Like, I kind of thought it was a trauma film when I first saw it, but no, it's in the vein of that. Just incredible film though this is. It is what it is. It's really fucking stupid. But it does it perfectly well. Gabble, gabble, motherfucker. So many amazing quotes in here. The turkey, the way he kills people are just stupid. His one-liners are just actually genuinely funny. This is a really dumb film. I love the sheriff in this scene. Bless what happens to him, but yeah, he was an amazing character in here. But overall, fucking great. Everyone, this is the kind of film I wish I knew these people. I would have loved to have been involved in this one. And then ThanksKilling 3. So you're like, yeah, what about number 2? Well, number 3 is about the fact that number 2 was made but never released, and Turkey was trying to get hold of it again, basically. You know what I mean? So the third one said, yeah, we skipped the second one, but the third one's about reclaiming the second one that never came out. Crazy, I know, and this gets even crazier than the first one. There's like another puppet in there that comes in there. It's a bit of a bigger budget, bit longer of a film as well. Much more ridiculous, much more stupid. I think I prefer the first one because this gets a bit too silly in the puppet character. Although it's funny at first, it does get a bit after a while. But it's great. I watch them back to back. Usually I can't watch the first one without watching this one. And it's funny because this one is about the second one and never came out as well. So yeah, really silly, really silly films. But yeah, both get the spuds just because they're a good laugh, and I can't recommend them enough, really. In 2019, this film came out called Verotika. It's got 3 stories in there. I can only remember 2. I can't fucking remember the third one, but the one of them, is the one that's burnt in my fucking head. If you might not have seen this film, you probably have seen this one scene where there's this spider dude where he's dressed up like a fucking spider in a shitty Halloween outfit thing, and the woman is the main actress in there is definitely a porn star or something. Just fucking weird. There's a scene where the cops come in and then right by his crotch you can see the whole seam is ripped of his costume. There's loads of scenes where the actors just stop dead and he's waiting for director to yell cut, but he didn't cut it down. He kept the whole thing in. Really awkward watch. One of his stories then has got someone going around cutting people's faces off, and then when you see them it's just a bit of red paint on their face. It's embarrassing. I don't know what the whole story about this is, but I reckon this would be great if you could find people who worked on the film and just kind of like Island of Dr. Monroe, if you could find all the people who worked on it and explain what the fuck was this about. I reckon it'd be an interesting watch for that case, because this was a fucking atrocious joke. Laughing at obviously how bad the couple actors on it, the fucking costume, as I said, fucking embarrassing. This is an absolute dud. you know, watch maybe the story with the spider guy for the laugh is probably on YouTube anyway. Don't worry about the other two. I can't even remember the fucking third one, like, but maybe watch that for a laugh, but otherwise, terrible. So went from Verotika to the VelociPastor. This came out in 2018. Honest to God, I watched this like probably about maybe 2 years ago. I was like, I'm just glad I didn't watch it from day one when it came out. Absolutely crazy film, this, like, really silly. And like, I know like a lot of these films are like really silly, but this does it so well. It's a really standout one. These guys knew what they were doing. This well, Pastor basically loses his parents. He ends up going to China, and he inherits like the ancient ability to turn into a velociraptor. And it's like, what's that got to do with China and stuff? I know it's stupid. And then it's like he ends up coming back to America, and then he ends up like using it to fight ninjas. Yeah, that's right. I'm not not losing my mind. This is what happens. A pastor goes to China, learns the ability to become a velociraptor, comes back to America and fights a bunch of ninjas, basically. There's an amazing scene when he's hooked up with a woman and he's in bed, and literally just as they're laying there, out of nowhere, all these ninjas just jump in the room all at the same time. You're like, oh, and he's fighting them in pants, and it's just the timing and everything. Well, that was incredible. The main actor really, really fucking nailed it. Hell of a laugh. Greg Cohan, respect to you. I really hope they do a sequel to this, because there's some films you think, I could leave it as one, he'll do for what he was, but I could watch this I could watch probably 20 of these films easily. As long as they keep it like they did with the first one, like it could be pretty much all the same shit and I'll still love it. VelociPastor, guess the SPUD, he was really funny, knew what he was doing, but in a great way. In 1987, so we're going back a bit in a year, one, you probably heard the title of it, but you probably haven't seen it, because I had heard of this film ages ago before I saw it. The Garbage Pail Kids movie. Oh man, talk about irritating. Remember there was a film I talked about, Robot and the Family? I said that was one of the most irritating films I've seen, and that still is, as far as like his non-stop noise and shit going on. This is a similar thing, but with the characters, they're just super annoying. They look weird, and at first you're laughing in disbelief about like, what the fuck am I watching? What is this? Why is this a thing? But very quickly it turns, and it's like, Jesus Christ, this is a challenge to watch. Now, I haven't watched this in years, and there's a reason for it, because I'm confident in saying I won't feel any fucking different. Absolute fucking shit film. Just watch some clips on YouTube, and if you're interested in it, don't watch it, because you've seen enough of it, another few minutes of that, but imagine as a full film. Nah, it's shit. It's shit. It's a dud. The Garbage Pail Kids movie, I'm not fully sure the reason why it got made, but it was a bad idea. So while we're on the V's from earlier, we're on another title with the V in here. Came out 2016, called The Void. Bloody hell, there's more V's in this list than Ron Jeremy's work history, innit? So yeah, The Void came out 2016. Absolutely incredible film. This is actually one of my favourite films, straight up. I was so surprised when it came out. It was our resurgence of like 80/90 horror films, but done well. There was a little bit of a resurgence. It was like, yeah, loads of practical on you. The CGI when it's done is minimum, but done well. It's hardly noticeable, mostly practical. It feels like a John Carpenter film that he just didn't credit himself for, like, you know, maybe an old John Carpenter script and he just fucking bought it off him. That's the best way to describe it. His sheriff, like, a small town, goes into an hospital, is kind of, I think it's getting in the middle of shutdown, hardly anyone working there. And these people are getting chased by these cultists in full white robes, and they all end up getting stuck in this hospital as an array of people, and these cultists are outside, so like, we can't go out there. And whilst inside, then shit kicks off, and it becomes like the thing, like, you know, H.P. Lovecraft kind of shit. There's like tentacle monsters, people getting all mutated, and all sorts of shit going on. If you like that kind of stuff, this is great for it. Amazing effects, some really good monsters, acting overall good, filmed great. Really, really big up to everyone involved in this film, the whole team, everyone had done. I really enjoyed it for this. I recommend this to a lot of people. Spud all day, The Void. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favour. It's a high Maniacal Mac recommendation, that. Okay, so in 2020, a movie came out called The Intergalactic Adventures of Max Cloud. Obviously, it's got Scott Adkins in it. Standing, I have to watch it. Like, I know there's some films he's done that's not like great, but every time he's in a film, even if the film's not good, he's always a standout part of it, and it's worth watching a film for him, even if the film's shit, you know what I mean? But more often than not, the films he's in are good, you know what I mean? I'm a fan. So this one, he's you know, playing his kind of badass style role, but he's just having fun with it. He's like, I'm Max Cloud, intergalactic space hero. I do this, you know, he's put on an accent. But what it is basically, you know, the new Jumanji films where they're like playing the game and they get warped into it? Exact same thing happens with a girl who's gaming. She's playing the Max Cloud game, gets warped into it. Her friend who comes along and starts playing, she's communicating through the TV. Oh my god, I'm here, Max Cloud. And then he's got to control her on a controller, Max Cloud, you know, when it's a guy playing it, then it's all like, you know, 8-bit graphics, but then inside of the game it's all like real life kind of thing. And Scott Adkins having a hell of a laugh in here. Best part of the film, naturally, when he fights is pretty good. It's actually more gory than I thought, man. There's actually some like points where he's like stabbing people straight in the face and shit, and you're like, oh, okay, I didn't think it was going to be like that. It's a very fun kind of, you know, maybe PG-13 vibe, but no, there's a couple of scenes I was like, okay, that was a bit more brutal than I expected. Not super brutal, but a bit more. Very stylish at points, but overall, unfortunately, Scott Adkins was the only good thing about it. Like, you know, we ripped off Jumanji, so I was a bit like, like that. All the other characters are kind of shit. And, you know, even though Scott Adkins is in it a lot, it's unfortunate there wasn't any other actors really that he bounced off well. The guy who does the cowboy dude, he was okay. But besides that, I didn't really like any of the other characters. I liked the vibe, I liked it, but he was done in Jumanji, who basically ripped off Jumanji. Scott Adkins was great in it. It's just a shame that everything else about it wasn't good. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, I will give it dead because I gotta be real about it. Scott Adkins, high expectations for the reason. There's many other Scott Adkins films I would say watch over this. That's why I have to give it a dud. But a bonus spud for Scott Adkins in this because, you know, I got no faults of him in this. Even with his crazy, silly accent, he's playing up to it and it works, you know. In 2000, this is a very popular one, so I'm just getting this out the list. Battlefield Earth, in it, you know what I mean? John Travolta, glorious John Travolta. This one's like redeemed as one of the worst films ever. It was terrible, and I remember quite well seeing this in the cinema, and I remember coming out of him being a bit like, it was alright, you know what I mean? It was okay, it was okay. I didn't think it was terrible. Didn't think it was great. But then as I got a lot older and I appreciated cheesiness and, like, you know, more of a fan of John Travolta, I rewatched it and, like, I was pissing myself laughing. I get where people are like, this is so bad because, like, John Travolta's acting up in this, but that's what I loved about it, to be honest with you, the fact that John Travolta's acting up. However, I would say go and watch A Fanatic. Like, that's a more recent one, but that is one of my favourite John Travolta performances. Face Off is a great one. This one don't deserve the hate it gets. By all means, it's not a good film, you know, definitely don't deserve to be named one of the worst films ever. I fucking tell you, fucking millions worse than this. But it don't deserve a spud, so obviously I'm going to give it a dud, like, you know. But if you want to laugh, maybe watch a bit of it for John Travolta and turn it off when you get bored, innit? In 2010, this movie came out called Repo Men. It's got Jude Law and Forrest Whitaker in it. They basically, it's set in the future and like it's all this organ, you're getting organs done, but people do on credit, and then when you ain't paying, they repo men for organs. So when they come for you, if you're like, you know, you're late on your heart payment, well, once they take your heart out, buddy, game over. Same as most of your organs, isn't it? So yeah, you pretty much fucking death wish, you know what I mean, if you ain't paying them off. So really cool concept in the future. It's like, you know, you do it all on credit. People obviously would get in that situation. A lot of people in this are just ignorant and deserve what happens to them, but yeah, they get a pass from the law, basically. It's like, yeah, well, if they're coming for you, then game over, you know what I mean? Really enjoyed this film, actually. Like, rewatched it again the other day. And yeah, really enjoyed it. It's something that happens, I won't give too much away, to one of the characters, like when they're in a fight, like something happens to them, and then I remember like after that scene, I'm like, what? They don't seem unaffected from what happened to them. That's fucking stupid. Like, you know what I mean? They get fucked up from that. So as the film was going on, it's losing me a bit because I was like, oh man, like you're doing so well until this point. But fuck me, did this film say, yeah, we know what you're doing? Because the wraparound then, it's like, oh shit, it comes back to that scene. It's like, mate, that's what would have happened. Like that's why I was a bit, but then because it was losing me, they did it on purpose and they fucking played me and came back at the end. I was like, that, you read my fucking mind. So although like I was a bit like that, they knew what they were doing. Guess a spud. I did like this one, Repo Men. Yeah, cool concept, filmed well, good enjoyable one. So last year in 2021, it seems older than this. I'm sure I heard about this. Like, oh, it seems like I fucking heard about this a lot longer ago than just a year ago. But I guess we all get old, don't we? See what I did there. So yeah, M Night Shyamalan one. I watched this. I think it was like actually yeah, down my parents at Christmas time. We were all like, let's watch a film. So it was last Christmas, whatever. This was right actually. The concept of it, like I really liked and stuff like that. I thought it was filmed pretty well. And when it was starting off, I was like, okay, where's this going? With a lot of M Night films, you're like, what's going on? But again, with a lot of M Night Shyamalan films, the ending the last third of it just falls apart, and it was just stupid shit that I don't know why he done in it. And just looking at it, it's like, what I mean? Like, why did you make that mistake? Why did you do this? Why did it go to that? Like, there was a lot of dumb shit that started happening, and a lot of characters you're like, oh, okay, why are they acting like this now all of a sudden? What I mean? It was a shame because I wanted to like this, but then like the one part with the woman in the tunnel when she starts like just becoming the exorcist and like it's lost me there. But it had some good concepts and ideas. Just a shame that towards the end just completely ruined it, really. And it was like, oh fuck's sake, like what I mean? A lot of dumb moments as well. It was like which is a shame because I was liking it in points, but it'll get a dud. Just because I'll never watch this film again, I can't recommend it. So let's finish this on a high note. In 2015, a short film came out called Kung Fury. I don't really know what to say about this, really. It's more to say, really. It's got David Hasselhoff doing like music over there, even comes into there at one point, I believe. But this is incredible, like just like 80s fucking cheese galore, but over the top cheese as far as it can go. Great effects, all on green screen, low budget, but fuck me, these guys put effort in. Amazing style, like an 80s fucking computer game in real life. Everyone just had a laugh on it, and I'm so glad if it is coming through. Apparently they're filming Kung Fury 2, and apparently Artie's in there. I think there's some other quite big names attached to it. I'm genuinely hoping that comes through. But the adaptation of Hitler on this is one of the funniest you'll ever see in any film in this Kung Fury. This and the African Kung Fu Nazis, I'm torn between which is the best Hitler, but they're both incredible. It's only 31 minutes. You can literally go on YouTube right now and watch this, and I say go into it right after this, because I got nothing more to say except do yourself a favour and watch a huge recommendation, Spud all day long. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've gone through another 10 today, so hopefully there'll be another one to come down the line. But yeah, I've been Maniacal Mac. Thanks for joining. Sub up, of course, if you're enjoying these, because we drop shit as regularly as we can. And as always, hope you enjoy. Peace out.
Maniacal Mac.